Hi guys, it's Mew2king, and I spent all of today, or at least 6+ hours, going over Kazuya, the video that Nintendo released, and I've been going over slowly, studying, theory crafting, analyzing what he was saying, getting little notes, and collecting frame data along with other miscellaneous thoughts. And I'm going to share the compilation with you guys so that it can be more time efficient for you guys. Before I go on, I just want to mention I am hosting a tournament this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. July 4th Ultimate is on Sunday. Smash.gg/FPS online. It is a big tourney I do once every few months or so. I would very much appreciate if you guys would help out and support it however you can. I also do coaching if you're interested on metafy.gg. With that said, out of the way, I'm going to get right into it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and follow. Now I'm going to get right into it. I have a lot of information about Kazuya real quick, and I'm going to give this information out to you guys as well. I'm going to have either it's going to be either like a tweet or a notepad or Google Doc or something. I'll have some, maybe a YouTube description or post. I'll have something so that you guys can have this easily as well as in addition to the video, but I recommend watching the video first. With that said, I'm going to get right into it. So, Kazuya, I'm going to start off by giving some miscellaneous information about him. One notable thing is that his jump squat, from what I saw on several different examples, not just one example, from several different examples, it really seemed like it was 7 frames instead of 3. That's crazy to me because that means that he's going to be on the ground for 7 frames and 8 in the air. That's only 1 frame slower than Bowser's jump squat in Melee, if I'm not mistaken. That's actually really ridiculous. And I thought I might have just made a mistake, but it didn't seem. But I saw it over and over and over in the video. So unless that changes, or unless I made the same mistake over and over, that's something I really noticed. So I just wanted to point that out. So he might have a hard time chasing people in the air. Yeah. He has light super armor naturally. It's kind of like Bowser, but on a smaller scale. And, heavier armor on certain moves, such as his down B or his smash attacks, especially forward smash. He's much heavier than Ryu, as you could tell by how fast it moves. And the rage mechanic, it applies to all characters. Usually I think it starts at 35%, it ends at 150 or maybe higher. But I think it's like 35 to 150 is how rage scales, if I'm not mistaken. But with him, he gets an extra 1.1 bonus in addition to that. And also, it seemed like it was like 1.8 or so extra with grabs, which I'll talk more about later. It seemed like he had less hit stun on attack, so at least that's what Sakurai said, where like some moves, because they want to make it like Tekken, so they send you flying faster, which means you have less time to react in DI. Or you would think that, but not really, because his F smash also makes you zoom in, kind of like a Little Mac F smash, so I guess that doesn't really matter. As Sakurai was mentioning how on a particular move where he did like a back forward tilt to do a high kick that Sakurai liked, he was recommending to not move the stick very far. Now, it's something I want to mention for you guys. It's true you could use the C-stick to do tilts in Ultimate, so some of you might not have learned to do tilts the old-fashioned way like you would in 64 Melee or Brawl. Well, I'm here to tell you and teach you that not only, my recommended way of doing a tilt is just to press the stick slightly. Why slightly? Well, the reason is because if you press the stick slightly and then press the A button, if you don't press it far enough, it'll jab. But if you press it slightly, then there's this big window where it allows you to do a tilt, but no matter what, it won't allow you to do a smash attack, and it won't allow you to accidentally full hop with tap jump on. So there's a big range of window where a slight inputs in any direction will register a tilt, but it won't count toward the other actions. So not everybody knows about that, especially if you're new to Smash. So I wanted to let you guys know, because that'll help the learning curve. Some other traits about Kazuya. Many of his moves seem to have crazy disjoints and simply just beat other moves very often. There was a clear example when Kazuya was doing like a high kick. I think it was his dash attack or one of his leaping jump kicks. And his kick was clearly like 5 feet in, maybe 6 feet in the air where the kick was. Like it would hit me in real life. It would hit my head standing, right? So you would think, okay, well, it hits my head standing. It's obviously not going to hit like my feet or the bottom of my legs. Well, you have Min doing down tilt and just losing to the move. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but I actually saw Min's down tilt straight up losing to a high kick, and it looked goofy, and it made no sense. Kazuya, as said, not only from the rage mechanic, but also his strength and weight in general, and all of his other mechanics make him a great comeback character. Probably more of a comeback character than even Terry, because Terry didn't have this 1.1 rage multiplier. He has Go. I would say that Kazuya is probably the biggest comeback character in the game. Knowing that, it's good to try to live as long as possible, but you also, if you have the opportunity to kill him before 100, you should. So if you can get like a strong move on him at, let's say, 90% that you know will kill him, he'll die at like 110 after the hit, for example, but then you didn't have to fight the strongest version of Kazuya because he didn't get all his buffs then. So something like that might be nice. Not saying you have to fish for it, but it's just nice to be aware of. Kazuya wants to get close to you. His projectiles are really bad, which I will go over soon. And you basically want to outspace and camp him when fighting against him. Not always, because you don't want to be too obvious, but that's the strat on average, I would say. Also, he seems to have a lot of invincible approaches that seem pretty deadly. I feel like he's going to be a great character when optimized and mastered. Now, to go over his moves. I'll start off with the move that I think is pretty terrible, and it's also the first one Sakurai mentioned. This is in the order that Sakurai mentioned the moves, by the way, so I'm going to go in that order. Neutral B is Devil Blaster. It seems to be frame 27, both on the air and on the ground. This move seems extremely bad. It's basically a free-for-all move. This is one of those moves you either do with free-for-alls or if you're friends or online. In a competitive 1v1 singles, especially 1v1 singles offline, I don't see it very good. Now, there might be a situation where like you want to like jump at the opponent to threaten that, oh, they're recovering and from high up, and you want to jump at them to threaten like a double jump aerial, and they'll be like, oh, well, I'm gonna air dodge away from them and then try to evade the character. Then you could bait that out. If you have a hard read on them and know they're gonna air dodge away, then you could laser down or something and get a hard read to cover that range. But unless you're doing a very specific situation like that, I can't see it having much practical purpose, and specifically ultimate singles offline at top level. With that said, on to the next move. Here, we already know what the laser does. You just angle in 3 directions. Side B is the Devil Fist. It seems to be about frame 16. The arm's not extended on this frame. It's extended on 17. And 16, 17, or 16, 17, 18 are the frames where it counts as the strong hit. And then frame 19 or 18 plus 19 is and onwards is the weaker hit. If you hit somebody in the air, it's not very strong. If you hit them from the weak hit, it's also not very strong. But if you hit them with the strong hit, then you get a follow-up. You can do a combo, or you can do a smash attack. You might be able to do a trip move, or other things that set up into deadly combos. I suspect that depending on the matchup and spacing that you hit them, you're going to get some pretty big damage percent combos or smash attack kills. So I feel like the reward on this move, it shouldn't take more than a week or so to figure out the optimized punish you can do at close range, mid-range, and far range in most of the common matchups. So I feel like that's going to be pretty good. Keep in mind, they can just shield it and get you bodied. So if they shield it, that's bad for you. Now, up B is the Devil Wings. One thing I want to mention is this seemed to come out approximately frame 10, give or take a frame. Let's just say about frame 10. That's about the same speed as, say, Joker's up smash out of shield. And it's also 2 frames faster than his own up smash out of shield, and 1 frame faster than his up air to shield. This means that this might be his I think this is his fastest out of shield option by 1 frame. Up air to shield and his grab should both be frame 11 out of shield, which means if you're shielding, I think this is his fastest move by 1 frame. So it's good to keep in mind that his fastest out of shield is frame 10 attack. It's this, as I said, it's the same speed as Joker's up smash out of shield, or same frame as Mithra's up B out of shield. And it seemed very strong. Also, you can act out of the up B, but you can't side B up B. But you can do other types of things. So yeah, this move I think this could be decent. We'll have to test it more to really see like how much range it has and risk reward and stuff. But I have hopes up, especially if you can retreat on the platform. If that ends up being safe, it might be riskier on FD than like Battlefield or something. But that's just theorycraft. All right, down B, Heaven's Door, sometimes called Rage Drive. This move is crazy good in my opinion. This is basically Bowser's side B grab, except Bowser's side B grab comes out on frame 6, and his is frame 14. It's either frame 10 or 15 for the Rage Drive. That'll be easier to test when it comes out, but it's basically a slower grab, but it's still unreactable. So he does a grab, and he just throws you really, really hard. This move can be really, really good, and it seems to do around like 1.88 extra damage if you have Rage, if I'm not mistaken. Because then it gives you like a big bonus. From when Sakurai showed the side-by-side, it showed the first one doing 17 damage, and the other one doing 31.9. That's where I got the 1.88 from. That might have been command input, not sure, but the whole point is there was a big difference between the 2 grabs. That's pretty huge. However, keep in mind that when you do lose the Rage when you do this grab, so you want to do it when if possible, you want to do it when it kills them. You don't have to. You could just go for the damage and just play consistent, just to get it anyway. Just keep in mind that after you receive a certain amount of damage or miss 3 grabs, you will also lose it. So if you succeed on 1 grab or take a certain amount of damage or miss 3 grabs or some formula, then you lose it. It also has super armor. It seems for like 5 frames or so. Yeah, it has some super armor. Even the basic one is super armor. Really nice. Yeah, it can only be used once per stock as long as it successfully lands. And there's also Shoryuken inputs. So there's rage versions of these, and there's Shoryuken inputs of these. And the rage drive also happens in other ways, such as even if you do Kazuya's basic grab, you could still do things like, I think you could still do like a rage drive, even if you have like Kazuya's normal grab. But I think that's a little unrelated. It's pretty complicated how they made this character. He's really deadly if the grapples. So if don't shield on the platform against him, because he can just grab you. Also, the way it works is really like Bowser's side B a lot, with like how you move back and forth in the air, like how it's controlled by the percents and like the tug of war that I used to talk about. Like whoever has lower damage has like more. The less damage you have, the closer damage you are to 0, the more muscle power you have in terms of how much you can influence it left and right. They pretty much copy-pasted Bowser's side B, but made it different. In a lot of ways, it's very similar to Bowser's side B. Now to talk about some of his normal moves. If you hold the A button, or mash the A button, it's a 10-hit combo, which comes out in frame 6. Unfortunately, if you hit somebody out of the air, or if you space it, it seems to miss a lot on the 4th hit, from what I saw. So I don't think it's really good space. I can only see this being good if you're at like point blank range. So if you're super close to the opponent, then I can see this being good. It's 1 frame faster in your grab and 1 frame faster in your down tilt. So I think this is your fastest move by 1 frame. So I guess if you're point blank, it could be good, I guess. But if you hit them in the air or their space, then I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend the flash punch combo because it's more consistent. But yeah, that's just the first impression, or early thought. Dash attack is leaping sidekick. Seems to come out around frame 15 or so. A strong dash attack, which for some reason has a giant hitbox under his legs that beat Min Min's down tilt. That is so funny that I saw that. It looks so goofy. It makes no sense. Clearly a giant, ridiculous hurtbox. That's very good. You would think it's just a high kick, but nope. It's much, much more than that. So yeah. It might have seemed complicated at first when Sakurai mentioned all these moves. However, I realized that Sakurai probably should have just mentioned this. It's literally just like a clock, like starting at 12 o'clock and going. From looking at my finger, it's like you go clockwise, and then it just goes like up, right, right, down, left, back, and then up, back. So besides this move right here, it's gonna basically do that for this move and onwards. So it'll be easy to remember by thinking of it in that way. Right A. Which way you press right a bit and then right a bit and then A, is a frame 13 attack. You quickly tilt the left stick forward twice, then attack. The most notable thing about this, which is the only thing Sakurai really said about it, besides hitting people out of the air, it's like a 2-hit out of the air thing. But the most notable thing that Sakurai mentioned is that this reflects projectiles. So I guess this is how you deal with projectiles, although online it's probably an unreactable guess, especially after you do these inputs twice. But it's nice that he has a tool like that in the first place. It means they can't just brain dead spam projectiles against him, because he actually has a tool. At any point, the opponent has to be scared, oh, he might reflect it. So if you do up tilt and then press the A button again, you can either do the twin pistons, or I guess you can do a single piston if you just do the first move. It's frame 9. It's pretty fast. It's an anti-air move, and it's a launcher. So, it's just a quick launcher. They jump at you, or they're a tall character. If they jump at you, I guess. You punch up really quick. It's one of its faster anti-airs. Maybe it's fastest anti-air. And you could start combos with it. You can do either 1-2 punch or just a single punch. If you do up forward, if you hold like a 45-degree up and toward, and then just press A, or A anywhere between 1 to 4 times, more accurately, you do roundhouse to triple spin kick. Comes out around frame 11, give or take, and it does about 27 point something damage. I think it does exactly 27 or 27 point something damage. The best use of this move is, from what I saw, is to finish a combo or finish a juggle. So if you do a launcher move, let's say he does like an uppercut or any attack that launches them in the air, then if you just want a quick, consistent 27 damage, according to Sakurai, the move connects into itself consistently. So assuming that Sakurai's word in this situation is accurate, then the move will reliably, if you hit the first hit, it'll reliably hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Assuming that's true, it'd be good if you want to do simple combos of Kazuya to get simple, quick results. Just do a move that launches them in the air, anything that launches them in the air, and then just do this move, and it does the launcher damage plus the 27 damage, and you could get like 30 to 40 damage combos easily. You can get like 40 damage combos easily, or 30 to 40 damage combos easily, just by doing a launcher into this move. So I could see that being pretty useful. This is especially good if you're like a beginner of Kazuya. I feel like you get a quick reward by using this move. So, combo juggle ender, 27 damage. That's my recommendation. Now this F tilt is basically Ganon's forward tilt, except when Ganon does a side tilt, and then he just hits you sideways really hard. It's basically that move, but Ganon starts a little faster. Ganon's faster, but yeah. Ganon's is faster, but Kazuya's has more range. Other than that, pretty much the same thing. That's how you could think of it in terms of that. If you press down forward A, and then A again, you do Tsunami Kick. You could do it for a one-hit combo, or you could do a basic two-hit combo. It's kind of like a kick that kicks up really high. It could also be used for launchers to do combos and stuff. But the really notable thing about this move is that this move is a shield breaker. So the second hit specifically breaks shields. So the fact that he does have other shield break moves like down smash, so I'll talk about later. But the fact that he has a shield breaker move here is, in my opinion, extremely useful. So like if like let's say you jump at somebody and you kept jumping at them and doing forward air, and your opponent's like, oh well, I have to adapt. I'm gonna start shielding his attack. I'm always gonna shield Kazuya's attack, right? You know your opponent's in the mindset. I'm always gonna shield his move. So once you get them in that mindset, or just whenever you think they're gonna shield in general, you just like jump at them, then you fast fall empty land, which is a lot faster than doing an aerial, for a lot of reasons, because it's less landing lag frames and you're both not frozen in the air. And then you just do immediate Tsunami Kick. And then you're either gonna A, hit them, or B, they block the first hit and then get hit by the second hit, or C, they block the first hit and then the second hit shield breaks them. So as long as you have a read on their shield, it's a win-win because you either hit them or it breaks their shield. And that's a really good risk reward for you. Sakurai also said there are situations where it won't break the shield, but it will shield poke, which is also really nice. So it's really, really good against anybody who likes to shield. Down tilt, Kazuya lunges forward and down to do a low punch, which is invincible just before the attack comes out when his body's lowered, and then combos. So basically, it's a slow move. It's like frame 16, maybe a little bit faster than 16, but it's an invincible approaching launcher. So invincible and approaching launcher, that's pretty good. So that makes up for the worst frame data. You can see situations where that'd be good. We don't know the exact specs of like percent range at combos or the invincibility frames, but we know that much right now. Stature Smash is down back in A. This is basically a frame 13 move where it trips. Sakurai said he pretty much straight up said in different words that he didn't really know how to use this move, so he recommended using it after side B. He said it'd be awkward to use in a match and use it after side B. Now, the real question is that the optimal play after side B? Like, is the endgame meta to side B them and then punish with a trip? If it is, then this move has a purpose. But if it's not, then it seems like this move doesn't really have much of a purpose. Anyway, that's my immediate first thoughts, especially considering how many moves this is. So, in my opinion, how good the side B endgame meta is for the combos and finishers, that's going to determine the use of this move. This is my first impression. If you do back in A, you do a back tilt. Just make sure that if you're doing this back tilt, the Flash Tornado, don't press the stick too far. Just press back a little bit and then press A. It has a huge hitbox in front of his foot where he does a very high kick, which is very disjointed. Pretty self-explanatory, and Sakurai basically said that he does like this move. So Sakurai didn't like this move, and he did like this move. I remember that specifically. And if you press up back in A, you do a jumping side kick. It's frame 14, but it's invincible legs for a leaping kick that seems to just beat other moves. By the way, almost every move that Kazuya does, particularly his moves with his legs and feet, they seem really, really disjointed. Like, all of them. Every single time I've seen a kick from him, anything to do with his legs, it seemed like it was really, really... It seemed like he had swords attached to it. Like, imagine a sword attached to his leg in, like, 1 or 2 feet in every direction. It's actually crazy. Safe high kick that beats everything, basically. So, you just do it a little early, and it's safe. It's the basic idea. Now, for crouching moves, this is specifically input after properly crouching, not using a downward move. So that means you have to be properly crouching first. So, if you do down forward A, while crouching, otherwise you get the Stature Smash, you get the Tombstone Crusher. This is frame 14, a low kick with a lot of invincibility to beat other moves, such as Charizard's side B. It showed how easily beat that move. If you press down in A while crouching, otherwise you get this move, you get the Crouch Jab. This is a quick jab, frame 7, only 1 frame slower than his basic jab. A quick jab, only 1 frame slower, however this one starts combos. This probably is going to be better than his basic jab, despite being 1 frame slower, simply because you're crouching, and I'm just going to take a wild guess and say there's going to be better optimized combos from it. But, I'd be surprised if there was nothing better. It seems like the basic jab is more of a beginner move, and this is more of like what you're going to do when you get better, in my opinion. If you press down back in A while crouching, otherwise you get Stature Smash. Wait, I wrote the wrong thing here. Whatever. You get the Crouch Spin Kick. Frame 11, This is a long detection period, so do this early so that people might run into the lingering hitbox. For example, Sephiroth's down tilt. So basically, this move you just kick, and then that kick just exists there as a hitbox for a while, and then people can run into it. So you have a bunch of different crouching moves for different situations. So basically, he has a lot of options depending on this environment. For that, like, he's just gonna be good. Now, you could do the Demon God Fist by crouching, and then when you're after standing up, so you crouch, and then you stand up, and then you press A. And then you do the Demon God Fist. Frame 13. I don't know how easy it is to land. I don't recall Sakurai mentioning any invincibility or anything, so this might not be the easiest to land. But it does true combo in a forward smash, so the punishment's big. So if you hit this, you either get A, a big combo, or B, a forward smash. So it is a very rewarding if you are able to land this move. Now, as for how you land it in neutral, I don't know. It didn't really show what it does on shields and stuff, so... Now, smash attacks. It's notable that they all have armor, and of course, most of the armor is on forward smash. The forward smash is either frame 25 or a bit sooner, a lot of armor, strong, and the sweet spot is on the tip of the punch. And as Sakurai said, if you charge it a bit, it's stronger than Falcon Punch. So the tipper punch, one of the strongest F smashes, it seems. Up smash is Devil Twister, frame 12, and a fast up smash. This is pretty fast. It's like 2 frames slower than Joker's up smash, and also like around 2 frames slower than his up B, it seems. But it's pretty fast considering it's the power, and it's not much total time. It goes through battlefield platform and stuff. Now the down smash is called Lion Slayer. It seems to be about frame 17. This move seems has a lot of uses. It can hit people on the ledge, at least Pac-Man. We'll have to test all the characters to really know if it hits Sonic and stuff. It can break shields. It can combo, and it seems like quite useful overall. It seems like a better Sephiroth down smash in every way, in my opinion, except for the fact that Sephiroth has a long sword and, has more range. But if you were to take away the range advantage of Sephiroth's down smash, his seems like it's just a bunch of benefits across the board. Like, you just don't want to get near this character. Now, his aerials. Nair is a jumping knuckle. It's frame 8, and it spikes. It can do low percent combos, and it can spike. Forward air is Searing Edge, also frame 8. Huge range in front of the foot, which I showed in one of my earlier videos. And it auto-cancels from a short hop. So, I like all his leg moves and kicks. Very disjointed in front of him. Back air is called Jumping Sabat, and it's frame 11. Stronger than fair, and like all DLC moves, like Heroes, a forward air and back air, or Sephiroth's, or pretty much all the characters, they made the fair come out faster and the back air stronger. It's pretty much the same flowchart here, nothing to be surprised about. Up air is called Rising Toe Kick. It comes out in frame 4. Very, very, very fast move. We don't know the hitbox yet, probably pretty big, because it's a leg move on Kazuya. Super fast move which can combo. If he had better jump squat, this would be a frame 7 out of shield. But since he has a slow jump squat, it's frame 11 out of shield. So probably not recommended out of shield. But, well, yeah. Now, Dare, Demon Scissors, is frame 20 billion. Slow move specifically used for stalling in the air. Kind of like Bowser's Downer. You could think about, how Bowser's Downer goes up and then down? He kind of goes like up and down. So you go like up and down to avoid moves and then stall and then hit him. But if they shield it or evade it or expect it, you're kind of screwed. Also, you saw it for edge guarding, but we don't know, like, okay, does it spike? Probably not. And then, how long is the hitbox actually active, and does it beat other moves? It probably beats other moves, but how long is the hitbox active? Since we don't know those very important details, it's hard to say how great it will be on an edge guard. It is worth experimenting on. Grabs and throws. His grab is called Strenum Smash. It's frame 7 with huge grab range. It reminded me of Pre-Pat's Palutena. And deadly with rage, because then you get the super strong throw. And a slow pummel. The forward throw is basically something that sends at a low angle and can kill. Back throw has high launch power, but sends at an angle they can easily recover. And the up throw is really great base launch back, really great base launch knockback power. Probably because it has good base launch back, because you throw up in the air, they have to go a certain distance, and then the laser has to send a certain distance, because that's how they usually program it, base knockback and knockback growth. Knowing that's going to be good on base knockback, based on design of the move, would make me imagine that if you grab someone that's facing the ledge, like you shield grab their normal stand at the edge of Town City, like you predict normal get up, and you shield grab their normal stand, and you're facing the ledge. You might want to up throw instead of forward throw. If they have a bad recovery, you might want to forward throw to like gimp the Little Mac. But if they have like a great recovery, like a Palutena or a Pikachu or something, they're going to recover no matter what, you might just want to go for raw damage or just raw KOing. So the base knockback would be good in that situation. Down throw is pretty self-explanatory. Stonehead, it's a combo throw for the low damages. Now, the special throw, where you do down forward at a 45 degree, then down, and then down forward again, and then grab, is called Gates of Hell. in a nutshell, if you want the short explanation, this is a far superior version of back throwing. However, because it takes 1, skill in order to execute this, 2, because you need to do those inputs, it slows down the speed, which you could do it in neutral as well. And the fact that you can't do it out of shield means there's like 2 or 3 nerfs to it, which is the trade-off, which I think is great game design. If it wasn't a far superior version of back throwing, it would be pointless. So, in my opinion, this is very good game design balance. Now, special techniques, and some of these are important. Crouch dash. This move is crazy. You basically do the Shoryuken input. A lot of these are Shoryuken inputs, by the way. Forward, down, down, forward, and you do the crouch dash. It's either frame 19 or less total time. From what it looked like, it seemed like he had full invincibility frame 2 through 5, based on the way his body glowed. And it might even be more invincibility from that being low profile. According to Sakurai, it makes your upper body invincible and lets you close in on your opponent. On the example, if I remember correctly, he avoided Dark Pit's arrow, the straight arrow. He might even be able to low profile lower than that. So basically, he's the ultimate, not only invincible, but low profile character. He's basically... Imagine the shortest character in the game running at you. Imagine Pikachu running at you. It's even better than that. So it's even better than Pikachu running at you. So this move seems really good since it's an invincible approach. And to make it even better, there are several moves which we can do to cancel into this animation early before it would naturally end. If you do it with the A button, you get the wind, you do Shuriken input and then the A button, you get the wind God Fist. I saw the fastest I saw this was frame 9, which makes me suggest, which from what the examples I saw, it suggests that you can cancel out of the crouch dash after you start the crouch dash. So you do forward, down, down, forward, right? And after you press the down forward, you immediately start the crouch dash. That's how it's programmed, it seems. Then, depending on, you could press the A button like at the same time, like 1 frame later. Same time gets this, or 1 frame later, or just way later, and you get these other inputs such as Wind God Fist, an invincible approach into a Knight's Launcher. For a combo. Seems really good. Seems like you can input the attack at any moment during your crouch dash. This means it's really good for mix-ups. You get some invincible mix-up approaches. Now, the straight-up far superior version of the same thing is the Electric Wind God Fist. I played Tekken like a week ago or so, or less than a week ago, I think, and it seemed like it was a frame-perfect input. I managed to finally get 3 in a row. However, by getting 3 in a row, so what you do is forward, down, down, forward, plus A on the same frame. So this has to be on the same frame. Down forward plus A on the same frame. It's important to note that I tried to use the mentality in Tekken of down forward and A on the same frame. However, that didn't really work out for me. So then I changed my mentality. Not my inputs, but the way I thought about my inputs. My intention then, I changed it. My intention was to do down and A on the same frame. Instead of down forward. Even though it says down forward A in the same frame, my intention was to press down A in the same frame. And by thinking of it in that way mentally, I was able to get 3 Electric God Fists in a row on the PS4 control in Tekken, even though I'd never played the game. So what I'm saying is, by thinking of it this way, the mentality part, you can actually get more consistent. Now, that would be a good tip, except Sakurai said that it's a several frame, it's more than, it's a more lenient window in Smash, which most likely means a 3-frame window, if I'm taking my best guess. So instead of being frame perfect series online, Smash.gg. Instead of being frame perfect, you don't need to be frame perfect. You just need to be close enough. So just press forward, down, and A at the same time, and then down forward, or technically it's this. But just don't think of it that way. This is a better version of Wind God Fist. Pretty much a straight superior. It seems like not only can you do it out of the invincible crouch dash approach, I think it's most likely gonna be safe on shield, but we don't know because he didn't strictly state what it would do on shield. So we just kind of have to take our best guess what it does on shield. I think it's good against blocking in Tekken, but I don't know. So I'm assuming that it's good safe on shield, which it may or may not be. And the fact that it stuns opponent for a free follow-up, I could see this crouch dash into the Electric Wind God Fist being pretty good. So yeah, and that's the tip I gave. And then, of course, if you hold the A button, you get the Dragon Uppercut. It seemed like really slow. It's like frame 20 or something. It was really slow. And you just hold the A button instead of just pressing it. And you do the KO move. And if you have Rage, you enter the command input of Rage, Drive, Fire Attack Parry. And then forward, and if you press the B button instead, you do Spinning Demon to left hook. And Sakurai basically said the benefit of this is that your entire body is invincible as it charges forward. That's a unique trait about it. And then the side taunt is Demon's Wrath. Frame 18, it's intended as a joke move since it's a side taunt. I compared that, out of curiosity, I compared it to like his other 27 damage move, like the launcher from earlier I mentioned. And it seemed like this one is less range, worse frame data, and less damage. So it does actually seem like a joke move since as Sakurai said, other moves seem strictly better. So that's it for my Kazuya guide. I mean, this is before the character comes out, so this is what I do. I'm just a nerd. So if you like my nerdy content and you want more, definitely check out these links up here. YouTube.com/TheRealMew2king, MVG VODs, and MVG League. Please give them a subscribe, which is a follow. And don't forget to hit the bell to stay notified of other videos. My attorney, FPS Online, is this Thursday through Sunday. Ultimate is on July 4th, and there's going to be Kazuya bonuses, which are going to be, the details are going to be announced soon. Streamed on my channel, and here's my coaching link. Well, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Share it if you do. I'm going to give this info out. I'm just going to make either share a word pad or I'll figure out something. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.